Hello, everyone. This is Elizabeth with Scott Leroy Marketing, and welcome to Lead Generate with Command Print Marketing 101. Today is March 28th, so if you are viewing the recording, some features may have changed. Today, I'm starting out in Mozilla Firefox, as we'll be doing some work in designs, and we found that Firefox works best with designs. You can also open up a private window by clicking the hamburger menu, the three lines at the top right of the screen, and choosing New Private Window. We'll be starting at command, which is agent.kw.com. We'll sign in using our username, which is generally something like first initial, last name, maybe a number. Capitalization not required. Then we'll enter our password and click sign in. So today we'll be going over the few print marketing options in Command, flyers and postcards. Flyers, of course, are free, but you can order prints from the system, which I'll show you. And postcards, if you use campaigns within Command, also cost money. So it depends on how you're going to be working them. First, we're going to check to make sure all of the fields are in our marketing profile. So we'll head to our name in the top right corner and click Settings. Now we have seen that you sometimes have to kind of click around. There it goes. Within the settings, you'll be defaulted to the connected applications page. So we'll want to find our marketing profile, which is found over in the left-hand side under Connect Settings. So click that Connect Settings to drop it down, then click Marketing Profile. Unfortunately, these few applets, designs, and campaigns that we're going to be going over today are not available through the Command app on your phone just yet. Right now, it's mainly contacts, tasks, and smart plans. But be sure to check back to see all of the applets that they'll be adding to the app, the Command app specifically. So you'll just want to go through and make sure all of these fields are filled in, especially the ones designated with required. Make sure they're all up to date. If you haven't visited this page in a while, this slogan field is new and required, so you may have to fill that in. Our default, if you do not have a slogan, is for all your real estate needs. So feel free to use that if you would like. Make sure all of your information is up to date, like phone and email. And of course, if you make any changes, feel free to click that Save button at the very bottom. Now let's head to designs. It's the paintbrush in a square. If you hover over, you can see the name of the icon, but while you're still learning, you can also click this red square with a white KW to expand the name of the applets. And again, we're heading to designs, the third one from the bottom there. Now, your screen may look different than mine. These are all of the designs that I've created. So if you are new to Command, you may not have created any just yet. So you can click either the blue Create Design in the middle or the blue Create Design at the top right. You'll see 4 different options here. Today, we're going to start out with the print option. And we're going to check the box to import photos and text from a listing. And I'll show you where that all pulls in. And click Continue. Now, because we checked that box, KWLS 2.0 will slide out from the right-hand side. You can either search for your property by address or MLS number, and then type in your address. And then you'll find your property. You may also have to change the show from only my to all. It looks like I'm going to remove some of this. There we have it. And once you find your property, click Select. If you have any errors entering in your property address there, feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to help. Generally, what's available is any sort of active status. Some boards do not syndicate out the coming soon or any of the like contingent, show for backups, whatever the statuses are called in your area. So feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to help. Now you're defaulted to this Templates tab, but I'm going to quickly show you the Assets tab. So I'm going to head over to Assets, which is in the white menu at the top. This is where you're going to want to store all of the information and images, logos, things that you're going to use frequently. So for all designs. So things like color palettes, fonts, maybe you're on a team and your team has a specific color palette and font. Images like headshots. Text like social media accounts. The ones I recommend are name, site, email, phone. Any logos for your market center, for your company, Keller Williams, your team, maybe even the social media accounts or realtor, equal housing opportunity, MLS, any sort of logos can be kept here. Elements are for things like clip art, stickers, objects, shapes, icons. Videos and files. So I always recommend coming into Assets first to make sure you have at least images, text, and logos. Those are the 3 most used categories here, so that you don't have to upload them to each design. Now we're going to head back to Templates to choose our piece. Now there are several options, not only categories, but also options underneath the categories. So choose one that works best for you and your situation in generating leads. Like if you're door knocking and want to do flyers, in my case, this is going to be a just listed, but maybe it's coming soon for you. maybe a just sold if you want to market a just sold property from your market center. Of course, check with your broker to see if that is allowed in your area. Now, once you choose the category on the left, you'll see all of the pieces start to populate, and you'll see the different types categorized with these gray buttons at the top. So today we're going to work through a letter-sized flyer. And if you hover, you'll be able to see the size. So this is an 8.5 by 11. You'll see standard postcards is a 4 by 6. There are also some bifolds, trifolds, door hangers. Depends on the category you're in on what types of designs they have. But you can narrow down all of the designs by clicking on the type that you like. And then if you hover over your piece, you can click the Use button. Now, no matter if you're making a test piece with me, reviewing the recording later for a real piece, or creating a different type of piece with me, all of the functionalities are the same, so just make them work for you. So I'm just going to click this skip to close the Open Pages menu, and I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can see. Now, I like to work pieces from top to bottom, left to right. So first, I'm going to edit this text for the address. You simply click to select. Now, if you did not go to Assets with me, you will see the text is already selected, the listing's already applied, but even though I entered the property in KWLS 2.0 at the beginning, because I went over to Assets to show you that, it did erase that from its memory. So I will have to go back to KWLS and search for the listing again. Again, you can search by listing address, MLS number, but also KWLS ID, agent, or co-listing agent. And press enter. Find the listing and click select. You can view the recording on our website, slmtraining.com, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ScottLeroy Marketing. So still having the address selected, I'll flip over to the Listing Details tab, find the address here, and click Replace. Now you can still edit this, so you can simply double click within the field to edit as needed. And then I also like to click in the gray space to deselect. You know, that'll really show me that this is not centered, so I can click and drag. Of course, not the black bar, but the text. Nope. Let's try this again. Maybe in a different spot. Nope. You can also use the directional pad on your keyboard to press and move that over whichever way you'd like. Moving on down, the next piece to update is the picture. So again, you're going to click to select, and then flip back over to the Photos tab. And I like to use the front of the house for the large photo, So I'm simply going to click replace when hovering over the picture. And once that loads, we are seeing this error that the picture pops up to the top left. To resolve that, all you'll want to do is click the picture again to make sure that it's selected. And click this reposition icon at the top center. Now you can click and drag back to the center of the image. You can also move this down a bit, move it left and right, however you need to reposition it, and click done. Moving on down, the next field is bed, bath, square foot, etc. Now, we don't necessarily recommend straight replacing with this information, because if you do, for example, bedrooms, you'll see that what it will be replaced with is simply 3. It won't even have the title of the field bedrooms. It will just be the number 3. So we do recommend manually updating this field. Of course, depends on your design that you've chosen as well. So 3 bed, 2 bath, coincidentally, that's the same. Square foot. So I'll double click to edit and then just manually type this in. And then price. Again, just pulling that over from the left-hand listing details. And then built in the year. I know I'm missing it. See listing date. You can also go ahead and just delete this, which I will do for my example. And have that entered there. Moving on down, I'm going to update these pictures, these smaller pictures here. Again, simply click to select. Head back over to the Photos tab. And I'm going to choose this one. Now, once this picture loads, we have seen that they straight disappear like that. Another way to add in a picture is simply clicking this plus sign. Now I'm going to zoom out a bit to show you. It does populate in the center of the page, so you may have to scroll up or down to see it, depending on how big that picture is. But if you use the add, you can use these white circles in the corners and drag to resize that picture. And repeat. So I'm going to click this next one. And I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Sometimes you may have to delete the image placeholder in the background. And I'm going to use this picture. So I'm going to add it using the plus sign. And then clicking and dragging the white circles to resize it. For this next piece, I'm going to zoom back in and edit the description. So I'm going to click to select, head back over to the listing details tab. And I know description is at the very bottom. Let me zoom out so you can see. It's that property description and replace. Now you can also edit the formatting of text. So first I'm going to move it up a little and I'm going to make it a little wider. You can change the font, size. You can also open up the typewriter in order to easily see and change the text. You have bold, italic, underline, lettercase, bullet points. But one that I also wanted to show you is spacing. The spacing by default is quite large, in my opinion. So if you wanted to reduce, you could do so here. Now, you can resize it a little bit better. Moving on down, next is the headshot. So I'm going to click to select. And now I'm going to head to images. So I already have some headshots in my assets tab. So I'm going to click to replace. Again, it looks like that's not working. So I'm going to delete those couple and click the plus sign to add it in. And again, resize with the white circles. Now, if you didn't already have either the listing selected to pull in listing photos or your headshot added, you can also head to this Add tab and upload from your computer. So 3 different ways to add in pictures: either replace or add with the plus sign, or add from your computer. Next is the name. So again, I'm going to click to select. Now I'll click on text and head to my assets and replace with my name. Next, similar field to the property information, you have more than one piece of information in one cell, in one field. This will have phone number, email, and app. So what I like to do is simply replace with one. So in this case, the first one is phone number, so I'll click replace. Now I'll go to the top right and click duplicate. I like this because it has the same font, same color, and it'll populate right below the existing field. So I'm just going to move this over by using my directional pad, make sure it's all in line, and then replace with the second bit of information, my email. And repeat. So I'm going to duplicate this field, move it over in line using the directional pad on my keyboard. And I don't have my app code in my assets. Instead, I have my website, so I'm going to replace with that text. Next is the Market Center logo. Now this one is really cool because when you click to select, the logos panel in my assets will open automatically. So you simply replace logo. You can move it around and good to go. Now, I also recommend renaming the design, with whatever naming convention you decide upon. Maybe address. This is a for sale flyer, which is already in here, FS, and it's a flyer, so FL. And then you can click anywhere in the white space to apply that name. Now, some design options, and the reason for choosing a one-page flyer today, have this order print option. So here you can order print. The little panel comes out from the right-hand side with 3 different steps. Choose your country, paper thickness, paper stock, number of copies. Continue to the next page where you'll review. You do want to double check all of these options, see what it flags for you. Download the print proof is mandatory, along with agreeing to the terms and conditions. And that red text is the link to read. Then you can continue to step 3 to finalize, enter your payment info, etc. Now, if you do not want to print through command, you can also download. Default file type will be PDF for printing, and download to then print at home, office, or a local store, Staples, Office Depot, FedEx, etc. Now you can also change file type to JPEG or PNG so that even though you've created this as a flyer to print out and pass out to generate leads, you can also post this to your social media really easily. That way all of your branding and marketing looks the same across different platforms. So now that we're done with this piece, we can click done. This will take us back to the designs dashboard within command. Now you can also create design, print, continue to choose a postcard from within the designs platform, the WeBrand design editor, just as we did that flyer. So again, you can check to import photos and text, click continue, and choose a flyer. And you can also go straight to campaigns. It's a little megaphone icon here to up from designs. That'll take you to the campaigns dashboard and click create campaign and choose direct mail. So you'll want to name your campaign first. Again, some sort of naming convention is what I request. This is a for sale direct mail. You can say postcard. You can say maybe the date even, whatever you would like. And then choose your goal. Now, this is only for KW analytics and tracking. So when in doubt, you can choose other. It won't affect what you see on the next screen. And click create campaign. So you'll have the steps on the left and the preview on the right. First step is already taken care of for you, which you can see by this green check mark. But if you do want to change the name or goal of your campaign, you can. Save collapses that step. Then you'll head to the next one, content. Click either the arrow or the title to drop that down. Now, if you created the postcard within designs, similar to what we just did with the flyer, you can click upload design to upload the front and back here. Now, sometimes the design, even if you do choose standard jumbo or large postcards, they do not download as the correct height and width in pixels. So you may have to resize those. We do have a few tip videos going over that process, so feel free to check out our YouTube channel on the step-by-step walkthroughs for those. But for class, we're going to choose select a template, because this is just how easy creating a postcard can be, even easier than creating one from the templates already given. So first field is the template. You have 4 options. Now these names do not correlate with what the sizes are called in designs. So it's compact here is 4x6, but it's standard in designs. Default is 6x9 here, but it's called large in designs. And then large is called large here in campaigns, but it's called jumbo in designs. And that's a 6x11. And you have a couple of different jumbos or larges to choose from. So choose your template. Then enter your text. In fact, because this is an other, it doesn't allow me to select the listing. So let me go back. In fact, let me see if I can change it here. Yep. So now it's been updated to where the goal does affect the sections down below. So I'm going to change that to advertise listing since we do have an address. Then we can select the listing so that all of that information populates for us. Now, again, you can search by property address, MLS, or listing agent. And I do recommend changing these statuses from default to all for both the status and the show. So then you can select your listing. Now, when we head to content, I'm going to leave the default for the template. Again, we're working a 6x4 or 4x6. Now we'll see all of these fields are populating. Address, price, bed, bath, description. All we have to choose is listing status. You have 3 options there: just listed, just sold, and coming soon. Again, this is just a template, so it's not going to have a whole lot of options, but you can create a more unique postcard within designs. Over in the preview, you'll see where all of that information is populating. Have the status, price, bed, address, and then if you flip to the back, you'll see that description. Now, back and description is a really good thing to check because the character limit is only 350. So let's get that down to fit within here. Looks like unfinished basement, so I'm going to delete all that so that it fits. Next is listing photo. Again, you can upload an image from your computer if you have high resolution photos stored on your computer on your hard drive. And you can tab over to listing image to use any of the photos syndicating from MLS. Now, these exclamation points do designate low resolution, but there has been an update where it can still be used. So in the past, it wasn't able to be used, so you did want to upload a high resolution photo, but now they can be. So not only will you see the preview here, but also in step 3 before you pay for it, so you can see if that photo is okay to be used. Now in this example, you do see that it's a quite vertical type photo, so you may want to crop that outside of command and re-upload so that it fits a little bit better on the front of the postcard. And yes, the recording of this class will be uploaded to our YouTube channel later this afternoon. Next section is all about you. This is pulling from your marketing profile that we visited at the beginning of class. So if you did not have any of that information there, you can fill in and change this information here. If that looks good to go though, you can click Save to collapse this section. If you are using a low resolution image, you'll get this little embedded pop-up. For this example, I am going to allow that, but again, you may want to upload a high resolution instead since you are paying for it. Next is choosing Market Center. So we'll click that section to drop it down. Again, this information is syndicating from your marketing profile, but you can also edit it here. In my case, my brokerage name is super long, so I always do have to change that. And state and zip don't syndicate over, so you do have to manually input those pieces. Then you can click Verify Address, and it's going to pull the exact postal address and confirm. And now you see that section also has a green check mark. Next section is targeting. Now you can use local targeting, which is by default, and it'll pull the property address and use that as the radius. And you can also target my database instead. Now, because this is a lead generate class, I'm going to leave it at local targeting. But if you have any questions about target my database, let us know. I'm going to click Save to apply that. Next section, budget. Again, click to drop it down. By default, it's at 200, but you can manually change that. You can even do as few as 1. You can also use the up and down arrows to increase and decrease as necessary. And with some of the template options, you have a choice of postage class. For this template option, there is only one, first class. Then click Save. Again, you'll want to flip back and forth between the front and back preview, make sure everything's looking good here. Then last but not least on this step is QR code. Now you can add a QR code to your postcard, and once that is scanned by the recipient, they'll be taken to a page where their contact information is captured and tracked back to this campaign. This is optional. You can turn that on by clicking this toggle here. It will automatically add one in for you, so you do not have to create it. And then you'll choose the landing page assigned. Now, even though it says landing page, you can also take them to any page on your website. So for instance, a contact me page or what's my home worth. But you can also create a landing page for this specific address that will have, the listing widget and the lead form widget so that they have more details about this property, can submit their information if they choose, maybe with the branded header, it's still branded to you. And once you select that landing page or agent site page, that QR code will be placed on the postcard. And once you're satisfied, click Configure Targeting. Now, I do recommend saving draft coming back the next day with some fresh eyes, reviewing all of this information before going to configure targeting, because once you go there, you cannot come back to this first step. So if something is off, for example, the picture, you will have to recreate this campaign from the beginning. It'll have the confirmation. You'll click yes. And real mailers will do the printing. So here is where you'll configure targeting. You can again increase or decrease the number of homes to target. You can narrow it down by property type and details. We do highly recommend sending a copy to your company address as well. And if you hover over this little eye in a circle, which is a tooltip, very helpful throughout command, you'll see the address there. You'll see the total and the map. So this map is super duper helpful. Each dot will receive a postcard. So if you want to increase that and manually see where it will go, you can do so. By default, it's using the radius of the listing address. You can also draw though. So let's say I wanted to do like so. This will also change the number of homes. So that's that draw. And you can also use polygon. So if you wanted to do really straight lines, let's try this again. There we go. You can choose the polygon shape as well. So totally up to you how many homes you want to target, the location you want to target. If you do hover over these addresses, you can see the address and details, and even remove them singly if you would like. But once you are satisfied with this page, click Next. Here is where you're going to see the front and back again. You can also see a larger preview by clicking this red text here. Highly recommend doing that. Order summary, count, cost, postage, total, information about processing, distribution, delivery. So be sure to review this information. And terms of service. So again, these are sent out, printed and sent out by real mailers. So feel free to check out this underlined text to review the terms of service. And then for payment, you'll enter this information and click Make Payment. So that is it for our class today. Yes, it auto addresses the postcards for you. If I didn't answer your question or you think of a question later, feel free to contact us. Our website is scottleroymarketing.com. Contact information at the bottom. And the recording will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ScottLeroyMarketing. Yes, the proof of the print you can view here and by clicking View a Larger Preview. You can also, in the first step, only choose one to print so that you can see the paper quality, etc. And those details may also be within the terms of service there. Printing is done by real mailers. Yeah, my pleasure. Again, if you think of any other questions, feel free to contact us and we'll be happy to help. As always, thank you for joining and hope you have a great day.